penalties. In fact, you can see zero reserve time for them. Welcome everybody to game number 1 for your G1 League Day 4 group stage action. Flash Esports, the sensations from Singapore, have been making waves in Southeast Asia as of late. Up-and-coming team that nobody's really seen until the past couple months, and they've been impressing a lot, especially for me, who I just started getting to watch them the past month or so. Playing off against Natural 9, who again, it's not the full Natural 9. They are using the 2 Malaysian stand-ins, FCFC from Invasion Red, and then Winter from Orange. They'll be using them the rest of the way for this tournament. I'm your host, LD of Beyond the Summit. I'm glad to have you guys here, and hopefully we're going to have a very smooth production, no sort of overlay shenanigans, no microphone muting issues. Godz isn't here, though, so if anything goes wrong, don't blame me. Go tweet at ggnetgodz and let him know that he should probably show up to the cast. He just traveled to the Philippines. He's attending the Pinoy Gaming Festival, and I'm guessing either he got stuck in traffic or had some other sort of issues. So you're stuck just with me for now, and hopefully we'll make this a fun one. Flash Esports, for anyone who didn't know, crushed their way through the qualifiers. Their team, the only team they've been losing to lately is Orange. They got into the Gosu Cup Asia Grand Finals. They won a smaller tournament recently in Asia, and generally they've just been a very impressive bunch leading into this event, and it should be exciting to see how they do here. N9, a team that's gone 1-1, and actually this is a great time to very quickly show you guys the group standings so you can sort of see where we are right now. Natural 9 are sitting at 1-1. That means that they had one best out of 2 so far. They lost a game to Tongfu, and they took a game, so they get 1 point for that. Flash Esports are sitting at 0-0. Their team that hasn't played a game yet, they're going to be playing 2 games in a row, not today, but a game today and then a game against tomorrow on Friday. So they're going to get a lot of games in a pretty short window of time. We're going to really get shed some light on them. But this group, as far as the teams go, Tongfu, Natural 9, and Flash are the 3 teams which, if anyone's going to get eliminated in the group stage, we expect it will be one of these 3 teams. Personally, I think Flash is probably the strongest out of these 3, but that's just what I've seen out of their recent play. So we'll see how the game unfolds. With that being said, the draft is now underway. Again, remember, Flash has 0 bonus time. They were late to this game. They do have their full roster, but some issues getting people into the game on time. And the Chinese admins not messing around penalized them all 90 seconds of bonus time. They were on the verge of getting a forfeit loss for game number 1. Here we are, though. They do make it in, and they're going to first pick a Naga Siren, the immediate... Natural 9 first picking the Batrider, the immediate response of the Naga Siren and the Queen of Pain. Big AoE combo potential here, strong laning heroes. As far as carry heroes go in the laning stage, Naga has to be at the absolute top of that list, just having so much control. And a great hero to deal with a Batrider if he's in the off lane, because even when he's in Firefly, you throw the net on him, and it makes it a lot harder for him to escape, a lot easier for the other supports to do damage and hopefully pick him off. So we'll see what kind of a Batrider is going to be for Natural 9. A lot of teams, in fact, I would say most, they might plan to run him as the offlaner, but if they don't like the matchup there, usually you don't like your offlane matchup in these pro games, they throw him into the jungle, and he's very effective at that. Now, it's been kind of hit or miss. We saw Faith's Batrider yesterday for IG just be incredibly efficient and effective and got a lot of things done for his team. Now, Batrider in that game had great synergy because they picked a Bounty Hunter, they picked a Night Stalker, aggressive ganking heroes who synergize well. And as a result, he started getting kills, he started getting tracked, and he snowballed from there. LGD ran a jungle Batrider, and it didn't work nearly as well for them. So we'll have to see. Was that LGD, or is my brain going crazy? That might have been DK or Tongfu, but I know we saw one that didn't work out too well. So it's a hero that can go into the jungle, can go into that off lane. We have seen him solo mid before. I'm not sure we will this game, because up against Queen of Pain, she's probably going to do a better job of controlling the runes. We'll see. Batrider pretty versatile with the laning stage. Jakiro is the pick. This, to me, is it's as much about denying the Jakiro to Flash as it is about getting it for N9. A great laning support, powerful AoE, and the strong jungler with the Enigma. The fastest jungler in the game. If you allow him to free farm, he's definitely going to benefit from that. For Natural 9, they have some options with their lanes. We could see, most likely we'll see, I'm guessing we're going to see an Enigma jungling and a Batrider starting in the off lane, but potentially moving over there. But it's pretty wide open for them. They could run the Enigma as a solo, either mid or in the safe lane, just denying a bunch of creeps, hugging the tower. They definitely have a lot of options, so these picks don't reveal too much about that. And this hero, the Bounty Hunter, might have 100% win rate in the G1 League. I haven't had a chance to look at the Dota Academy stats, but he's been doing incredibly well so far. especially in the hands of IG, but also to a lesser extent with DK and LGD. It's a hero that is just winning most of his games. He really suits the current metagame, which is all about ganking, all about aggression. And for anyone who hasn't watched Flash, it's not just a metagame that's all about aggression. This is a team that's all about aggression. They love to tower dive. It's somewhat reminiscent in certain ways of Na'Vi in terms of they'll fight you under your tower and they'll usually kill you there too. Now N9 has some strong defensive capabilities, and tower diving against a hero, especially like Jakiro, can easily go the other way. So we'll see how aggressive Flash want to be in the laning stage, in the early to mid game. But at some point with a Bounty Hunter Queen of Pain, that is what we expect to see. Undying banned out by Flash. It makes sense. Jakiro Undying as the components of either a dual lane or a tri lane. Really nothing can stand against those two in the laning stage. Decay spam is too strong. The Tombstone cannot be brought down in the laning stage because nobody has the physical damage to do it, at least not in a timely fashion. And if you ever try and turn and fight, not only are the zombies hitting you, not only is Undying smacking you with his massive strength, but Jakiro is there with the spammable AoE, so it's a smart ban, and I think it's something that we've seen Natural 9 run before as well. Like that ban quite a bit. What are both of these teams looking for now? Flash Esports looks like they have two of their primary farmers, then the Bounty Hunter, most likely going to be that 3-position hero. Probably an off-lane Bounty Hunter, a Queen of Pain solo mid, and then a Naga Siren up in the safe lane, and then either a jungler and a support or some sort of a tri-lane for them. They are on the dire side. And I'm really curious what N9 is going to do with the Batrider. I wonder if they do plan to run it as a solo, now that they've picked up the Enigma as well, and maybe not even the Suicide Lane solo. There are other options. There's a Beastmaster here that they've definitely run a lot in the past. There's a Broodmother who slipped through this pool. Not the best hero to pick against Naga Siren, that does need to be said. The Spiderling's pretty easily dealt with by Riptide, if you have a support there as well to provide some AoE. And then the net, of course, does reveal you if it hits you before you fade to into Invis, and that makes it pretty easy to kill her. It's almost like you don't need Sentry Wards. Well, you do, but it helps. It certainly helps in that regard. I like what Flash is doing as well, banning out the Chaos Knight. Just the hero. This is a team that wants to get to level 6. They want the Naga Sleep. They want Queen of Pain. Really to get to 11, or at least have the 2 nukes maxed out. The Blink maxed out as well as the Scream of Pain. And they want Bounty Hunter to get tracked. They're not going to be really strong in those early clashes right when the laning stage kicks off. So banning out heroes that can punish that kind of aggression, or that can create that kind of aggression and punish their picks, really makes a lot of sense. Chaos Knight, of course, a fearsome tanky frontline initiator, and especially in this game, it really renders Queen of Pain very vulnerable. She can't ever blink in offensively, and even if she's just trying to run, a long Chaos Bolt will mean the death of her in most cases. Just checking my Skype. I'm going to try to do a better job today making sure there are no technical issues. Looks like everything is good, guys. And we'll try to keep it that way. So again, this is game 1 for anyone who's just turning in. It's Flash Esports' first match of the group stages. I think they're a team to look out for. I think they're a team that could even maybe take a game off of a team like Orange, like DK. They have pushed Orange to the limit in at least 2 previous matches. First in the Gosu Cup Asia, and it's actually escaping me what the other event was, but it's a team you certainly haven't heard of them to the extent that you've heard of Mushi, that you've heard of Yamate, and Extinct as well, and his amazing jungle play, but it really is a team to look out for, and a team that shouldn't be underestimated. It wouldn't surprise me at all if they finish even as high as 2nd place. Well, it would surprise me a little bit if they finish 2nd, but I think they have a shot at it.
Radiant team picked.
So it's going to be a supportless Shrek to combo with the Nagasar, and that makes a lot of sense. Gives them strong pushing power, lots of nuke damage, and of course will prevent anyone from really getting much farm in that lane, as the amount of burst they can bring to the table is very dangerous. And 9 picks up the Sand King. In this lineup, dare I say it, I think he's actually going to be getting some farm, and I like that a lot. I think a farmed Sand King against these heroes can really make it difficult for Flash. If Sand King gets a quick Blink Dagger, even if he just has the Arcane Boots and a little bit of stats and some levels, these heroes are squishy. Queen of Pain, Bounty Hunter, Leshrac. Naga Siren a little bit tankier, but not immensely so. And especially to combo. I mean, the team fight right now for what Natural 9, just the raw team fight damage they can bring to the table is otherworldly. So it looks like I'm guessing it's going to be a Batrider off lane, a Jakiro Sand King safe lane, Enigma jungle, and then they need their solo mid. I suppose they could run an aggressive tri lane though. Jakiro Sand King +1. Now, who would that +1 be? I'm not sure, and it's also rather risky to do so, because if you run an aggressive tri lane, that means Queen of Pain and Bounty Hunter getting a quick level 6. And it's a Shadow Fiend for natural 9, bringing the swagger back. I like it. And I said team fight, I said AoE. This is the best team fight AoE carry in the game, really bar none. Shadow Fiend, especially with the changes of Record of Souls, because he gets that guaranteed suicide bomber ult off, even if he ends up going down.
Ten seconds remaining.
As for Flash, they are
5
looking for that
seconds
third
remaining.
support. Earthshaker is going to be the choice. Strong defensive pick, so Flash a little bit concerned about the aggression and also just looking for that sort of that reliable setup stun. It's not going to help them really kill off a Batrider too much because of course you can always Firefly over the Fissure. But it will give them a long range counter initiation, which is important against heroes like Enigma and Sand King. If you're able to cancel the epicenter from channeling, able to prevent the black hole from going off. It's something that we're a bit lacking in, so I think it's a smart pick, especially in this case. Shaitan Shadow Fiend. Can he match Yamate? Can he live up to the legacy that we've already seen established in Dota 2? I don't know. I don't know about that, but he can probably make it pretty fun. Pretty special game for us. And I am still transmitting in game. Everything going smoothly, which must mean that something horrible is about to happen. I knocked on wood, don't worry. KS, the carry player for this team, gonna be playing that Naga Siren. Last seen handling Pudge, but he won't be doing that this game. eweahhh going solo mid as a Queen of Pain, rushing that bottle. And these two players look for eweahhh to be incredibly aggressive and just constantly looking for openings. Not generally as interested in farming as some other carry players, but we'll see what he's able to do this game. Henki Ki gonna be handling the Earthshaker. Ward's already picked up, and 5 Clarity Potions. Just so much mana spam for him. Really what you need on the Earthshaker. MLG, the other support. Smoke for him, as well as the Courier Purchase. He'll be playing the Leshrac. And finally, that Suicide Lane Bounty Hunter went for an early reign of Basilius. This is a little interesting. They don't have much of a push lineup. To be honest, this is something you don't really see. Maybe they're just hoping that after he gets a kill in the mid game, like around level 3 or 4, then he can go set up a push? I'm not sure. You see this early reign of protection into a reign of Basilius from other heroes like Naga, your safe lane sort of tri-lane heroes, or at least your safe lane farmers, but that's in the safe lane, and that's heroes that have better pushing potential. Oh well, we'll try and figure that one out later. Winter going to be playing the Enigma, heading into his own jungle, standing in for this team for the duration of the tournament. Of course, Winter, more famously known from Orange Esports. Shaitan going solo mid as the Shadow Fiend, and he's doing a bit of an Invoker build here. Rushing the Blades of Attack, just really wants to get that quick pair of Phase Boots up, I assume. Interesting choice. This is a build that some Shadow Fiend players like. Phase Boots, early drums, just going for cost-effective stats and more mobility as opposed to going for sort of the siege tank or more solid presence in team fights with the power treads and the BKB. Godot playing the Sand King. And of course, FC, the stand-in from Invasion Red for this tournament, going to be handling that one and risk of the last player for N9. Already doing some nice dewarding. Sentry Ward on Sentry Ward action coming your way. And an offensive tri-lane Batrider, very aggressive. You gotta figure Flash was expecting this though. As soon as they saw the Sand King come out, they already knew that there was a twin-headed dragon and a Batrider on the table. They already knew that there was potential for this level of aggression. Earthshaker's the perfect hero to counter that. As long as he stays back, though, he does have to be careful. Once the sticky napalm starts hitting you, if you're not already in position to fissure, then it's very hard to cast in time. So let's see how good can Kenkiki be with his position in this lane. If he gets caught out of position, or even if he just has to turn around to fissure and he already has 2 or 3 sticky napalm stacks on him, by the time you're able to actually get it off, oftentimes the tower dive will fail. Just gonna drop a fissure now. Not too much farming going on. FCFC is getting a lot. This is the best way to deal with the tri-lane. Just pull the safe camp, deny them as much experience as possible, and punish them for being grouped up as 3. At the same time, when you do this, this means the lane pushes and you don't have creep support under your tower necessarily. Although it looks like you didn't quite get the full pull. And that's where a hero like Batrider, even at level 2, could look to tower dive. And KK just constantly threatening to throw out those fissures. I like it. It's mind games. It's a smart thing to do as an Earthshaker player, is to constantly make your opponents wonder when you're actually going to throw the fissure out. So then they have to they sort of have to check themselves. One of the small things you can do without actually expending mana or using any real resources to have an impact. Bottom lane, we have an Enigma up against a Bounty Hunter. 1v1 matchup. Enigma, as expected, farming well, but what's not expected is this 10-0 start for the Bounty Hunter. And remember, he's doing this in spite of Radiant Creeps being denied every time demonic conversions are created. Oh, mid lane, Shaitan, huge dive in eweahhh! I told you to expect aggression, but even for eweahhh, this is aggressive. 2.5 minute first blood. Just caught the tail end of that line of play, and level 4 already. First blood for him, and what do you know, a regen rune. Despite being pulled some early regen, this is the downside to going for the phase boots rushes. You don't have that much regen, you don't have many stats to work with. If you get them up quickly, then you generally have a very easy time in your lane, but if you die like this, it really limits your ability to catch up. And when you're Queen of Pain against Shadow Fiend, once you start getting kills, they tend to keep on coming. And the other issue for the Shadow Fiend is there's an offensive tri-lane that's not that strong on its lonesome. Batrider's decent, but for the most part, you can't leave him alone against these heroes. They're probably going to kill him or at least completely shut him down. So it's not easy to rotate the support mid, which means Shaitan's on an island. Shaitan is on an island right now. We're going to have to see if he can find any water there, if he's going to slowly sort of get parched and starve to death. FCFC doing some pulling. It's actually the Sand King who brought these creeps in, and now KS gonna look to farm them. So very even game so far, aside from that first blood. It's a small lead for the Dire, but it mostly comes down to that. The one thing that concerns me is that they're not shutting down the Bounty Hunter, and it's an Enigma versus a Bounty Hunter. Top lane though, it's FCFC who goes in, Ice Path on 2, but really can't tank this Edict damage, just not able to commit to it. MLG doing a nice job of zoning him back, only having 1 point, but that was enough to force FCFC away. Just getting over the cliff, 3 hero fissure, gonna slow down this aggression. The Ice Path not gonna connect, and in the end, the tri-lane unable to score a kill there. Shaitan only level 4, out of mana, out of HP. He knew that eweahhh went to get that rune bottom. And it happened again. It happened again. Oh, I'm facepalming so hard.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
eweahhh knew he went to get the rune bottom though, or rather Shaitan did, so he takes that time to get some farm, get some levels up. Hitting level 5, still really can't approach the creep wave. That's where the illusion rune comes out. You get Shadow Strike, Spirit of Pain, and the ult, and you're pretty much dead from full health. Shadow Fiend just very squishy. And hitting those raises is tough when your enemy already has boots, when you are just so immobile. Blinking, eweahhh immediately goes on the offensive, has the ult, no he doesn't, no mana, but is going to wand up, not throwing it, didn't want to, I think wanted to wait for another Spirit Pain, but in the end will get the kill. eweahhh now 2-0, winning this middle lane by a convincing margin. And setting the pace for this team. He still hasn't entered the tri-lane, but it's already a level 7 Queen of Pain against the tri-lane that's very underleveled. 2 on the Sand King, 4 on the Batrider, 3 on the Jakiro. Not a good place to be. This has to be a concern for N9. You notice they have done a good job so far of keeping the vision up. It hasn't been dewarded. But around that 6-7 minute mark, once this next rune spawns, if eweahhh is able to get any kind of a good rune top, that may be 2-3 kills. They have plenty of good follow-up to set up those kills with the Naga, with the Earthshaker, and lots of lockdown in this tri-lane.
Invisibility.
Yeah, guys, I know. I'm sorry. I'm working on it with the overlay. I'm working on it. I'll get better. I promise. Forgive me. Anyway, here we go. So 3,000 gold already for eweahhh, and Bounty Hunter level 6. There is a Sentry Ward here. Burrow straight in there, expecting the rotation from DSF. Really nice reaction by N9. Prepared for that Bounty Hunter to come roam mid, and this time it's the kill going the other way. The problem is, though, the tri-lane is not a tri-lane anymore. Now FCFC trying to run away from this one, tanking the Edict, wanding up, just looking to survive, but the Riptide is enough to secure the kill. Enigma does hit level 7 on the back of the Bounty Hunter, rotating out of the lane. Bounty Hunter a bit stymied, but may just TP top right away and look to continue set up kills. Now gonna go back bottom as Enigma has started to do some damage to the tower.
Killing spree.
Kill top lane, Shaitan
Suffer, fools.
getting picked off, not... Or sorry, mid lane, excuse me. Just trying to check all my settings again. eweahhh gonna escape a third kill for him on this middle lane, and this was with the twin-headed dragon rotating in. And now the more that the support heroes have to rotate mid to try and protect the Shadow Fiend, the more the aggression comes out top. It's the weakness of Shadow Fiend. If he has a bad start, he just needs a lot of help to get going in the mid game. Batrider only level 4, Sandking only level 4. You compare it to this lane, 5 on the Naga Siren, 4 on the Earthshaker, and 3 on the Leshrac. They're actually doing a good job of keeping up an experience, surprisingly. Better than I would have expected given how this lane started. And the level of pulls that we saw coming out. We still haven't seen Bounty Hunter or Queen of Pain journey to that top lane, though. Shaitan with the haster. Is he gonna go here? Godot burrow striking up onto the high ground. They had vision of this from the ward right up here. One raise, setting up the kill. Now once more perhaps, but probably can't tower dive into the Naga and the Earthshaker. So getting Shaitan some momentum and also getting him out of this damnable mid lane where nothing has been going his way whatsoever.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
The rotation comes back in mid. eweahhh knows that Godot doesn't have mana for the burrow strike. Not too worried about getting engaged on. Honestly, I'm a little surprised we haven't seen Bounty Hunter or Queen of Pain enter the tri-lane top yet. eweahhh, I guess, just not finding the runes he's hoping for, and his TP on cooldown at the moment, but he's had opportunities earlier. We've seen N9 being aggressive at times. And it's not like you're leaving a huge hard carry alone. You leave Enigma alone on the bottom lane. I think they're okay with that. So that's one thing I would like to see from Flash is just group up as 3 or 4, set at least one of those solos and gank this top lane, get a kill on the Batrider, get a kill on the Jakiro, and start the track gold train. It's what we saw IG do, honestly, from level 1 in many cases. We saw at least two times that YYF would rotate in at level 1 with the help of, say, the jungler or the safe lane farmer, just to try and get a first blood. Or not the safe lane farmer, the safe lane support, just after doing some warding in the suicide lane, just to see if they can get a first blood, if you get an invis rune, if you get a haste rune, or anything like that. And it's already a level 8 bounty hunter who still hasn't really ganked. One time middle lane ganked, was spotted by the sentry where was picked off, and since then, content to get his items up. At the same time, it's not like they're under a lot of pressure. N9 is running an offensive tri-lane, but they're not going for kills. They seem almost content just to survive in this lane. So Flash playing passively, but perhaps that's okay. Riptide on a beautiful split earth, catching out too. Fissure to follow. Ice Path to try and prevent this. The mini fissure. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, another solo kill from eweahhh onto that Shadow Fiend, who I guess got caught going for the rune. He did. And Shaitan has now died 4 times, sitting at 1-4-1. It's Shadow Fiend is a bit of a comeback hero in the sense that he can farm quickly. But he's also not a comeback hero in the sense that he's very squishy and very easy to keep on bringing down once he's had a bad start. So we'll see if he can catch up. This is not going to help though. Risk gets caught out. Flash really amping up the aggression here. Still not getting any track kills, but they are getting kills nonetheless. Burrow strike onto the Henkiki, who was diving, but the creeps are not cooperating with Godot. They're not, or the tower is not, rather, I should say. Godot already is level 5, so maybe can hit a burrow strike here and kill off MLG. In fact, he's going to go for it. Godot going to be picking up a kill for his team, something they desperately needed. Now into Henkiki they go. He doesn't have boots. He went for the Soul Ring first. The net, though, to slow down FC, and Godot a little bit too low to dive any further. Shaitan rotating top. Giving up on middle lane, again, just sort of, you know, he checks the rune, he gets picked off. I wouldn't mind seeing him gank a little bit, because frankly, it's not working out as eweahhh jumps in again. eweahhh, 5,400 net worth, dominating, and now the track kills are coming out. 5-0-1 for him. The net onto Winner, who has also tried to join this engagement. Will it work out, though? Double raise from Shaitan, cleaning up the fleeing bounty hunter. So they get him, but it's a 2-for-1. and there's a track kill in play.
Radiant's top
Definitely a
tower is
favorable
under attack.
engagement for Flash. Not getting a tower just yet, though. So, aside from this middle tower, which apparently went down to eweahhh while all this action was happening in the top lane, they haven't managed to get the tier 1 top. They're getting lots of kills. They're not pushing too many towers.
Dyer's
The Flash
bottom
is in the
tower
team
is under
that really
attack.
needs to push towers. For them, it's much more about holding onto their towers early. Scythe the Vice for us. eweahhh could have a Scythe the Vice by the 16-17 minute mark, even sooner if he gets a couple more track kills. And an early Scythe the Vice against this N9 team, anyone is a solo kill for him. There's nobody tanky enough. There's no Beastmaster and Night Stalker's had a decent start. There's nobody who can stand against eweahhh once he gets that Scythe the Vice. So it's a game-breaking item, especially to get it this early. Shaitan strutting into the lane. Godot visible because it's daytime. Just protecting Shaitan, not even trying to hide it. And N9, they've had enough of getting picked off. They've had enough of dealing with the aggression of eweahhh and the rotations from the Bounty Hunter. They're just going to try and 5-man Dota this. At least start getting some tower gold going their way. While this is happening, Flash will pull ahead in terms of experience. Let's see if Flash actually give up this tower. Naga Siren, sitting top, pushing that lane. Gonna force someone to rotate in soon. And Batrider nowhere near the Blink Dagger. Running a Batrider in a farming as the farmer in a tri-lane, you normally do expect him to get one reasonably quickly because usually what happens is you're getting kills, but in this game, he hasn't been able to find them. It was a strong defensive lane from Flash, and then it was mostly just the middle lane, where as they rotated in to try and help Shaitan, it took supports away from that top lane, and the Shadow Fiend became a bit of a liability for his team. eweahhh's farming, and now because he's created space, the Naga Siren is farming, going for very cheap items, not trying to rush a Radiance, not going for anything bigger. Is he actually going to complete a Vanguard, or is he going for Lincoln Sphere? The last time I saw him play this hero, he did go for Lincoln Sphere, and in this game, against all the single target stuns the N9 have, that would be a... Oh, what did I just miss? Shadow Fiend, solo kill, diving the tower, DSF, as well as the Queen of Pain, going for that one. Well, not the Queen of Pain. But DSF manages to pick up a solo kill. Nice job there, and the Shadow Fiend's woes continue, just really struggling in this game. eweahhh continuing to pressure the mid lane. That's what I was trying to say about him. Just being such a threat in this lane. And the Twin-Headed Dragon gets caught out by a Fissure. That's going to be it. I would like to see Flash play some more aggressive wards. That would really help them to even do more than they're already doing. Wards behind the tower, wards in the jungle, even just a lane ward over here. That's the one thing that's keeping N9 in this game, is having some vision up around the map. So they can at least react in time when Flash starts to be aggressive, starts to go for those kills. eweahhh with a double damage rune. 2,300 gold. It's looking like a 16-17 minute Scythe device, and he might even be able to go for a solo kill and winner here. Now, gonna eat a Malefice. There's backup in place. That's risk, and that's gonna force him back for the moment. Okay, yes. Gets a little too cocky, a little too aggressive, but that's what the sleep is for. That'll help him escape. Meanwhile, the tower dropping bottom. And another tower falls. This tower, though, will be denied, but still 2 towers lost for N9 in the space of a second or so. And that's going to further limit their ability to roam around the map, their ability to farm. And it's Flash who have the heroes to really punish solo farming. N9 are a team that want to be grouping up at this stage, but they wanted to have a good landing stage to do so. If they had a good start, Batrider probably just blink now. Shadow Fiend may be working towards the BKB. He is going for that phase boots, drums boat, which some players like. But it's a build that generally relies on getting momentum really to be effective. Oh, Bounty Hunter, do they have the detection for a Burrow Strike? Not going to miss. They were unprepared this time. These supports have bought so many wards, you can't blame them this once for not having them. But just really struggling. You can see Twin-Headed Dragon, no money for wards. It looks like Enigma trying to get his BKB, and the Sand King sitting on 600 gold. Probably just wants the Arcane Boots. Big lead for Flash at this point. N9, they do have that devastating team fight, and that's probably going to be how they can pull themselves back into this game if they do. They have a lot of lockdown. They have a hero who has some decent innate damage from his abilities if he's not being focused in the Shadow Fiend. Shaitan, you can already see his base damage, even without souls being maxed, well into that 150 mark or so. Probably going to get up to about 170 per auto attack, plus all the magical damage. If they ever are able to combo their spells properly, Flash will be in trouble. But the problem is there's always the Naga Sleep to kind of counter-initiate. end the fight and get away safely. And there's also the net, so Black Hole not a guaranteed way to get to win a team fight. Even once the BKB is up, sure, it blocks the sleep, sure, it blocks these other stuns, but the net will still go through it. And it's a 17-minute Scythe of Vice. I may have messed up the overlays, but I'm getting the timings right for these. And solo kill and the Bat Rider going to be attempted. eweahhh thinking about diving for this one. Not going to in the end. So now DSF has his drums up. All the heroes are starting to get their items. Burrow strike in onto eweahhh, who has the Scythe of Vice, but just will blink into the fight, end away from the epicenter. What a beautiful play by him, but only beautiful if he's got backup, and unfortunately he doesn't. So in the end, he will die, but he manages to kill off the Shadow Fiend while doing so. Meanwhile, Earthshaker dies on the other end of play, tanking the Enigma, tanking the tower. MLG just says, okay, forget it, guys. I'm out of here. They were fighting 3v4. Or maybe even 3v5 there, and it just didn't work out for them in the end. But even the advantage that they have already, allowing them to get away with that and come out relatively unscathed. Giving up a 2-for-1. Not something they want to do, but also not going to cost them the game. Naga was still farming. Bounty Hunter was still farming. They're not getting team wiped. They're not giving up towers or Roshan. So overall, not an ideal engagement, but something that shouldn't cost Flash too much. I'm wondering, to be honest, how N9 is going to find an opening at this point. They're playing so defensively that they're just getting outfarmed all over the map. You can see Flash constantly, the Naga, living well past the river, just pressuring this top lane, pressuring this area. Bounty Hunter or Queen of Pain usually applying pressure and momentum towards that middle lane. And then someone else, whether it's the Leshrac or the Queen of Pain, there's always someone in every lane, and they're farming. They're farming the enemy jungle as well. They're farming the jungle of N9. N9 are not doing so. They're not farming their own jungle. They're protecting the Shadow Fiend with 2-3 heroes most of the time. And when they're not, he's usually dying. Track onto Godot. The Blink Dagger for Godot could definitely help them get that initiation. That's one item they really need. The BKB on Winner. And I think it's really just going to come down to somehow getting up this next level of items. But then they're going to have to do something with them. They're not a clearly superior late game lineup to Flash. Flash have 3 heroes that scale well. In the Bounty Hunter, the Naga, and the Queen of Pain. Heroes that can provide a lot of damage and a lot of chasing power in team fights. Once Naga gets to 16, which is going to happen relatively quickly, he's already level 10. Then you have that spammable team fight. Tier 2 will drop bottom, the net slowly sort of extending and encompassing N9's territory. The support as well as Shaitan just lurking back here in the distance. Earthshaker with a 20-minute Blink Dagger, Soul Ring boots. Roaming, not farming hardly at all. The tower gold really working out in his favor. He's even got a death to his name with 4 assists. That'll help him out. He may even have a track kill too. Passive mid game, but Flash are fine with this. They want to get Roshan. They want to get this next level of items up, which should be coming soon, and then they can start pushing. They already have the Scythe of Vice. If they strike now, while the iron is hot, before you have a BKB on your Shadow Fiend, before you have a Manta Style or whatever item he's going for, before the Blink is up on Sand King, before the BKB is up on the Enigma, I don't think there's anything that N9 can do, so I expect to see a timing push along the lines of what IG has been doing. As soon as they get the Aegis of the Immortal, don't wait, it's got a 6-minute duration, so just go immediately and start being aggressive, start making things happen. Knock down the tower, maybe even get a Rax if you get enough kills.
Roshan has fallen to
the one item they probably would like to get their hands on first will be the Lincoln Sphere. That pretty much ensures that you will get that Song of the Siren off. And if things ever go south on team fight, you want to have that Song of the Siren available. For those who play Monopoly, it is the get out of jail free card of Dota. That is Song of the Siren for you. A slow, a passive mid game, a little bit of a blip in the action, but you can see even when Flash isn't killing, they are pressuring, they are making sure to maximize their farm, to maximize their map control. They don't have much vision right now. The one thing I think they should do, actually they have a gem, they just haven't been able to deward. It looks like these wards for N9 have just come up relatively recently. So really everything Flash is doing, it's perfect. It's exactly what you see the Chinese teams do. Just incredibly good ability to control the map. I love this ward, by the way. Gives you amazing vision into the tower. And not a spot that many teams are often dewarding. What we see from KS, a bit reminiscent of Tongfu's Hao playing the Naga Siren the other day, where he's actually not getting as much levels as you might like because he's farming with the Riptide illusions at the tower. He's not keeping the hero in range. I feel maybe just do some pulls up in the top lane and then go push. But I guess the thinking is he wants to make sure these heroes are constantly in the top lane so that his team can pressure mid safely, so that N9 are forced to devote a hero to this lane. It's understandable, but when you're sitting, he might be in experience range for a few of these creeps. But he's certainly not getting the entire wave worth of experience, and in some cases he's even farther back, and I think we're going to see him now. Go into the jungle, finish that Lincoln Sphere safely. No, just going to stay top. N9 just hoping to get these items up, but they're not even going for the blink. Godot gets caught. That's the Hex from eweahhh. The Fissure's going to follow this up, and the Queen of Pain ult instantly. The big team fight specialist off the board. DSF lassoed into the tower. Not going to drop just yet. The Raze not going to connect. Blink forward now onto Shaitan. eweahhh wants to go. eweahhh wants to fight, and the net comes out. KS is here. KS wants another kill. Charging in, but takes a full Shadow Feed ultimate. Beautiful Requiem Souls and a nice path on 3. This is the team fight, and they don't have to get out of jail free card. That card has been burnt, thrown in the trash. Fissure not going to lash on Shaitan. Track up on him, running back to the base. Almost a disaster for Flash, but there just wasn't the black hole there they needed. If the black hole connects after that 3-hero ice path, that's a team wipe against Flash. But unfortunately, no Blink Dagger on the Enigma, just not in the right position to get those kills. Still, you see the defensive capabilities of N9. You have to be careful against these guys. And that finally allows Winter to get his BKB. So he may not be able to get in the perfect position, but he can BKB and walk into that perfect position. And we'll see if he's able to do it. Remember, though, he is up against a Blink Dagger Earthshaker. That makes positioning extremely important and also extremely easy to mess up. Blink Dagger up on FC as well, so the next level of items coming up for them. And even when Flash has what was a near disaster of a team fight, they still come out on top. They're still pulling ahead in gold. They're still pulling ahead in experience. Oh, Kankiki! You make me so nervous. You make me so nervous. But no, he was just popping his Soul Rain. I thought he was dying to creeps. Oh, Blake's in to dodge that projectile to kill the... Oh, living life on the edge. When your jungler player is even living life on the edge like that, you know you're an aggressive lineup. Remember, there was a gem for the squad. Did they... They still have it on FCFC. Okay, he did not lose it. It was him who was carrying it. It was he who was carrying it. That was a moment of danger, but in the end, he'll be okay. BKB coming soon for eweahhh. And let's see, can they find him? Remember, he's got the Aegis, but they should have enough lockdown, I believe, to bring him down twice. Unless he does this. Unless he just shows great map awareness and gets away. Has the TP scroll, Batrider, Commando style, Burrow Strike to start this one off from Godot, followed up by the lasso. Want to bring him down once. Can they even do it once? Not going to look like it, but then the Flame Break coming out. They're just going to aggressively push mid and top while this is happening. They're way too far away to try and help this Queen of Pain. But they only get the Aegis, that's it. eweahhh blinks back, but he could honestly have gone forward. Probably caught a solo kill on either the Sand King or the Twin-Headed Dragon. They do get rid of the Aegis. Although, to be fair, it was expiring in about a minute's time anyway. And they give up a tier 2 for doing so. Even when N9 are making something good happen, it's not the best trade. And now the BKB for Queen of Pain. Smoked up. Fissure to start, connects on 2, track to follow. Shaitan taking lots of damage. Shaitan gonna explode, the Pinata is popped, unleashed. Perfect chain stun onto the Enigma, but in comes the Sand King with a nice epicenter. Only level 9 though, not the full power of that epicenter yet. DSF taking tons of damage. The sleep cast. What the hell was that? This Naga Siren is dead, but I still hear the sleep. I am confused. No matter, and it's a Lincoln Sphere for DSF. So when it's all said and done, they lose 3 heroes, but they still come out with more gold from it. Just the power of track, getting a couple of track kills there. Imagine if they had the Aegis or the BKB in that fight. Neither of those were present, so Queen of Pain pays. A sloppy fight from Flash, to be totally honest. They assassinated the Enigma, they prevented the black hole. But then that kooky sleep came out where Naga was crooning from beyond the grave. Don't know what to make of that one. I'm not sure if you guys could hear that, but she was definitely still singing after she was dead. Alright, so it looks like Kaz going for a Diffusal Blade now. Wants to have just that additional level of lockdown and damage. Pretty standard item for him. Could be a Manta style. Blink in by the Batrider into the tower into Hey Kiki. He's got no Echo Slam, so this won't really cost them too much. Ice Path to follow it up, locking in MLG, but here comes the Queen of Pain. Dust gonna pick off the Sand King. Now the Black Hole airballs it. Disaster for Winner. Now netted up. Ewa in the thick of things. Cannot be killed. Gem on the floor. Actually taking a lot of damage to Shaitan. Needs to back off. Blinks away. Barely surviving. Shaitan going man mode. Pops the Requiem. Will pay for this though. And in the end, 4 heroes dead. And back comes Ewa. Lived on just a few slivers of HP. And it's going to be a team wipe. It's a 5-hero kill. And that gem may still be on the ground. It is. So they also get the gem. A team wipe, a couple of track kills, and a gem. Another 1,400 gold swing for them. Did they actually kill it, or did they grab an extra gem? Yep, an extra gem for Flash. Or was this their original gem? No, Bounty Hunter already has one. So now they have 2 gems. 2 gems better than 1. Tough. It's a tough game to be in for N9. That's the hero they really want to jump on. You can't jump on Naga Siren because she's got the Lincoln Sphere. So you can't rely on the lasso to lock her in place and bring her down. You got to start with the Earthshaker. That is the hero to initiate a pawn. The problem is they were diving a tower. As well as the fact that Winner, without the Blink Dagger, just got outmaneuvered. Couldn't find a good opening for the Black Hole. This is the weak spot of the BKB Rush is... Sure, it allows you to potentially counter that Song of the Siren and turn things around like we saw Navi do at the International, but if you have good position on your Naga, if you have good position on the rest of the team and you don't group up, then the Black Hole is just not going to be there. It comes down to the team setting her up. It comes down to Flash making a mistake. And so far, no cigar. Winner, are we going to see a fissure? We are to start this off. Followed up by the Echo Slam, and Ewa's here too. The long-range initiation for Flash, the power of having these Blink Dagger on the Earthshaker, as well as the Queen of Pain with her natural Blink. And now they look to go next onto the Batrider. Ice Path to connect on Chaos, slowing him down, preventing him from getting too aggressive, but tracks and base dives, the name of the game for Flash Esports. Aggression, 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 but very controlled, not really slipping up too much, not really giving too many openings. Tracks flying out onto every hero one by one. The vision is there. They are revealed, and with the double damager, and it's an easy Rex claimed for Flash Esports. Next onto Shaitan, BKB forced out, Ewa blinking forward, thinking he might be able to pull a fast one there. Not going to do so, claiming a Rex. Roshan respawning soon. Already up 1 Rex, but in goes Ewa, diving the foul, getting 1, getting 2, looking for the triple. He's going to get it unless this Ice Path hits. It's not. Pops the Shadow Fiend. Triple kill for Ewa. Sensational Queen of Pain play. 12, 2, and 8. Crushed the Shadow Fiend mid. Now farming them at the fountain, and N9 just looking flabbergasted, completely outmanned, and just not in a position, not having a lineup that can really make a comeback unless Flash screw up. And so far, not too many screw ups from Flash. This will help though. A 4-hero Ice Path is going to slow this down for a moment or two. But I think N9 know this is over. They really shouldn't be defending with these 2. Got to give up another lane of racks, and instead they give up a track kill to 4, maybe 5 heroes if the Earthshaker was in range. And 2 lanes of racks, 30 minutes in. Dominating display from Flash. I told you guys they are one of the teams to look out for in this tournament. A bit of a black horse, but a team that has really been impressing lately. And we'll see if they can do it in game 2, but the savvy veterans on the part of N9 just outmatched, outgunned, and overwhelmed in game number 1. So I think it's time to start taking bets on how long it takes me to switch the overlays for game number 2. Yesterday it was 7 minutes. Today it was about 4.5. So I think for this next game we'll have it down to 2 minutes or so. That's progress, guys. That's progress. I'm not even going to talk until I get the overlays fixed, though. Coming out of the draft next time, which I'm sure will not help, but we'll see what we can do. So at this point in the game, Flash Esports just absolutely commanding the game. And I'm a little surprised N9 still thinks they can fight this one. They're just maybe hoping for one last hurrah, one big team fight to turn it around. But when you have a bounty hunter to give these two mid to late game heroes, the Naga, the Queen of Pain, so much gold. I mean, eweahhh's looking at he's looking at an MKB at 32 minutes on top of the BKB, on top of the Scythe of Ice. This is a pretty much unstoppable level of farm. It's two big items ahead of your Shadow Fiend. And two big items. They're not medium-sized items. These are super-sized kind of items that he's coming out with. And Manta style next for the Bounty Hunter. At this point, Earthshaker probably gonna think about that Refresher. Probably gonna think about that Lincoln or not Lincoln Spear, that Aghanim Scepter. Something big, something delicious for him. MKB complete, as well as the Aegis of the Immortal. Of course, the Diffusal Blade has been up since at least the last fight. And now they group bottom. They will smoke up, and they did deward having. So they still have the 2 gems. I guess they lost them both. Blake in on the winner. Scythe of Ice to start this off. The BKB gonna negate all of that Firefly damage and just rendering this Batrider useless. Really. Look at the dives. Look at the power of these heroes. Just going to work. Going to town. Shadow Fiend does a lot of damage, but not enough, and this will be another team wipe with 3 or 4 track kills in the base, and that's time, that's Q. GG's for N9, who just get absolutely destroyed in game 1. Flash Esports, it all started with eweahhhh. eweahhhh crushing that middle lane, putting Shaitan on the back foot early, getting a solo kill at the 2.5 minute mark, finding 2 more kills by the 5-6 minute mark. The supports from the tri-lane forced to help out mid. They get 1 kill on a roaming bounty hunter, but they can't slow down eweahhhh, and once the tri-lanes start leaving that top lane, once they start rotating mid, the aggression commences. The tri-lane for Flash goes to work, and then you have a Naga having a good start, you have bounty hunter getting involved in the game, and it all sort of was downhill from there. It started with this Queen of Pain play though, it started with eweahhh's sensational individual solo play. And this was a Shadow Fiend who went for a bit of a different build, started with Blades of Tech, tried to rush phase boot, similar to what we see out of Quas, Wex, and Voker players. And it can work if you have a good start, but against the harassment that Queen of Pain brings to the table, a gamble, to say the least, and it was punished heavily, and even though Shaitan was pulled regen on top of having that item rush, just wasn't enough for him in the end. Flash Esports take game 1 in absolutely commanding fashion. Game 2 will be coming up soon. We're going to find out, can Flash make it a clean 2-0 sweep on their first day of G1 League group stage action, or will N9 be able to tie this up 1-1? If they drop this 0-2, they're in a bit of danger in this group. That'll put them at 1-3. That'll leave them with 1 point. And we can actually bring up the group standings now. And you'll see, they're going to be, at that point, even with Tongfu at the bottom of the group. Remember, there is 1 team who gets knocked out. So let's see if Flash can get off to a 2-0 start, or if N9 going to tie this up 1-1. Game 2 coming soon, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned for that.